Hey guys, this is WW Futures from Future Training Woohoo, and today's date is August 17, 2020, so it's a Monday, and I'll be going over the chart lesson for today and the chart recap. So recently, of course, if you were looking at the markets today for futures ES, you would have noticed that it was a kind of a slow day, terrible volume, didn't get anywhere. It's sort of looking like what it was before pre-corona. So slow. We're at our all-time highs for ES. Looks like the market is losing steam as it is right now. So as you can see, most of the day it was a range day. And range days in itself are not too hard to trade. It's just a simple buy low and sell high. But in today's case, the range was a little tight. And so it would have been difficult to trade unless you are a very experienced trader. But yeah, let's go over the chart. So as you can see here, market started off in a sort of a range in itself. Let me draw that out. You can see that it was between these two price points. It was bouncing back and forth as if it was a ping pong ball. But then we broke out as soon as market opened, and right here we have our first trade. The reason why being is this is a nice two-legged pullback. I give it around an 80% win rate. The main reason being is our first leg is very high, and it's very, very big. But we have our this is a failed two-legged trap, sorry, my bad. So this would be a trap in which we got our first leg down, up, down. People thought we were going lower after that two-legged pullback, but in fact we weren't. We were actually near the bottom of the range that we drew out. And this is hindsight, of course. You wouldn't have known. So this is why I give it a lower probability win trade for this one right here. Definitely not a trap that I would have taken, and I did not take it at all today. And I actually skipped over it, but looking hindsight, it would have worked out. But once again, risky trade. So not something I recommend, especially in market open. But the next trade is definitely something that I would have taken, and I did take it. So as you can see right here, we got that two-legged pullback. A lot of people thought we were going long after this nice uptrend, but it looked like we were running out of steam, especially with the smaller green candles. As you can see, you could have taken a short trap right here and had a nice 1-point scalp. Of course, we broke the trend line, but at this point, this trend channel, this small range that we have drawn in here, is not obvious until later in the graph. So this short trap is definitely viable, something that I would take in. You see the two-legged pullback to the long side, and then we take that short trap after going one tick higher and trapping all those traders who try to go long. Yeah, so another thing that was going in our favor was our short-term trend line and our short-term trend channel. As you can see, we were bouncing off the highs. I was not afraid of it pushing higher. In fact, prices just bounced off of it, and we're stuck in between this channel, so it was a nice short to take. Now, as you can see, later on in the graph, we have our up. We get a rejection. We don't have, this is what we consider a fail breakout. So we have a rejection and then a back down. And right here, after this bounce, it sort of confirms that we are in a range. And as you can see, we actually bounced off of the overnight highs. This would be our overnight highs where you see the golden line. And we actually just bounced off of that. So from this point on, it's kind of obvious that we are in a range, and you could have played buying off the highs and buying off the lows. Buying off the lows and selling off the highs. And so right here is one entry point. This is what I call a two-candle rejection. This is a very bearish bar. but then after that we got a nice bullish bar that is almost the length of this one. So this is what we would call a 2 candle rejection. Definitely something I would have taken, but I missed it in today's trade. But you would have gotten your 1 point scalp. That would have been a great trade. Your next trade is right here at this point. This is another risky trade, but you definitely could have managed to pull it off as soon as you saw it near the bottom of the range again. You could have taken a long trade as soon as you saw a green candle, but this was not enough conviction for me to take a trade. Of course, I wanted to after missing this trade right here, but it's better to miss out on the trade than be wrong. So, sat out on this one, but definitely a viable trade in hindsight. So after that trade, we were stuck in an even minier range. And this mini range was unique in the way that it had so many different kinds of setups that could attract traders. So this mini range right here, uh, you need a lot of patience with it and a lot of experience with it, seeing as to how it's going to break out. So the one thing that you could have seen is that there was a two-legged trap right here, as you can see, up, down, up, and then people would have gone long on this point right here on this candle. They would have seen the bearish, the bullish, very bullish candle, see the bounce off the range. It would have been like, oh, great time to go long. Well, they're wrong. They get trapped in it. They're trapped in there. They're getting anxious. And as soon as we see this very, very bearish candle, we're ready to take our trade. We're poised. We're expecting it to bounce back off of this and come back down. And that's exactly what we did. So we could have easily taken a trade right here or placed a trap trade right below the candle where they would have gotten in. So around right here, one tick lower than this candle right here. So either way, both viable trades. Would have taken a lot of patience. Preferably, you would have taken this retest onto the range and then back down. And this would have been a very nice, viable trade. Now, the next trade that we're going to look at is this one right here. This one as well, as you can see, we had a failed breakout once more. This is a fake breakout. A lot of traders would have gone short, had FOMO, gone down. They would have taken that trade. But that's definitely something that we do not want to do. A single rule that you want to keep in mind is that when you see a breakout out of a range, most often than not, it will come back and retest that range. And we saw it retest it, and prices did reject that first, but then it broke out. And once you see that breakout, that rejection off as a support now instead of a resistance, we have that support, and then the next candle we see a nice bullish candle. So you could have gone long right here. Would have worked out perfectly well. So just looking at this overall trend of today, not a lot of volume, not a lot of volatility. Graph is looking kind of whack. Not something that we're used to as beginner traders, but these are days that we definitely do have to prepare for. It's looking like prices are actually pushing up right now. Not sure how much that's going to last, because it's looking like like I said before, we're running out of steam. But yeah, so there weren't too many setups that a lot of traders could have taken today. Maybe the advanced traders would have seen all of these trades immediately. But of course, I only took around 3 trades today, and those were the only viable ones that I saw as something that was occurring in live market. So yeah, that's today's chart lesson for Monday, and I'll be back with more chart lessons for tomorrow. And if you want to join our Discord channel, it's right down in the descriptions below, and feel free to join in and learn from like-minded traders. Yeah.